There are things you don't yet know, truths hidden in the shadows of those around you. Someone you trust is carrying a secret that will shatter your understanding, and God says, do not be shocked when the exposure comes. You will be tempted to fall into despair, but you must remember, exposure is freedom, truth is healing, light is life. What breaks you in the moment is what builds you for the future. Do not fear the shaking. The shaking is heaven's way of setting you free. I know your heart has been heavy with questions. I know you asked God why certain relationships broke apart, why certain doors closed, why some promises felt delayed, why you faced loneliness when all you wanted was comfort. And I tell you now, none of it was wasted. Every tear has been collected. Every prayer has been recorded. Every step has been watched. You were never forgotten, never abandoned, never ignored. The silence was not absence, it was preparation. The delay was not denial, it was protection. And now I, Michael, say to you, it has to be now. The shift is happening, the veil is lifting, the truth is breaking forth. You cannot turn your head, you cannot pretend you did not hear. If you walk away from this moment, you walk away from the very reason you were spared from destruction. Heaven is shouting your name, and God is saying, do not ignore this. I need to tell you more. There is a letter, a hidden document, a message that has your name on it, and someone tried desperately to keep it from you. They thought if you never saw it, you would never rise into your full place, you would never claim what was yours. But God has ordered that it will come to you, and when it does, you will tremble with shock because it contains not only truth but inheritance. Do not fear when this happens. It is written in the heavens that no hand can steal what is sealed for you. I also see a person, close enough to your life that you would not have suspected them, who has spoken against you, who has tried to bend situations against your favor. Their initials carry weight in your spirit, though you may not yet see it clearly. God says their time of hiddenness is ending. Exposure will come, and their face will reveal what their lips tried to hide. Do not fight with anger, do not curse them back, because God Himself will handle it. Your job is to remain standing in truth, to remain standing in faith, to remain standing in obedience. You have been called, you have been chosen, you have been protected, but now you must be awakened. I am crying out not for my sake but for yours. The love of heaven is too deep to let you sleep through this moment. You cannot afford to stay numb, you cannot afford to stay distracted, you cannot afford to say, tomorrow. This is not for tomorrow. This is for now. The armies of heaven are shifting in your favor, but your agreement is needed. Say yes, open your heart, align with what God is speaking. Do not push this away. Do not say later. Later is not promised. Now is the time. God says, I, Michael, need to talk to you, and it has to be now. Don't you dare ignore this and make me angry, because I have been watching you, protecting you, carrying you through battles you don't even realize, and now the time has come that silence can no longer be tolerated. You cannot push this away, you cannot say you will deal with it tomorrow, you cannot treat this as just another ordinary message, because your destiny hangs in the balance and your future is being decided in this very moment. I am not speaking to you as a distant angel, I am speaking to you as the one who has shielded you in storms you didn't even know existed, the one who has fought through legions of darkness in your defense, the one who has cried when you ignored the signs, the one who has shouted in your ear while you slept, begging you to wake up, and now I cannot hold back my urgency, because if you fail to hear me now, the opportunity will slip away and I will not be able to fight for you in the same way again. There is something happening around you that you have only sensed faintly, like whispers in the background of your life, but you haven't been willing to fully acknowledge it. I have come to tear off the veil, to expose the truth, to bring light where darkness thought it could hide. You are being watched, your steps are being monitored, but not in the way you think. There is someone who has made it their mission to track your every move, not out of love, not out of genuine care, but out of a twisted desire to control you, to manipulate your story, to erase your truth. And you have been too kind, too forgiving, too gentle, and too blind to see the danger. That is why I, Michael, am shaking your soul right now. This is not a game. This is not a gentle suggestion. This is me declaring a command directly into your spirit. You cannot ignore this message, because if you do, you will walk straight into the trap that has already been laid for you. The person you think is harmless has been meeting in secret. They have spoken your name with venom on their tongue. They have made payments to keep certain truths hidden from you, and the worst part is, they thought they would never be exposed. But God says enough is enough. No more deception. No more manipulation. No more secret deals in the dark. Finally, light is breaking through, and I am the one carrying the sword of truth to cut through the lies that have wrapped themselves around your life. Listen to me with every part of your soul. You were chosen for greatness long before you were born. That is why the attacks have been so vicious, why the betrayals have cut so deep, why the people you trusted most ended up being the ones who turned against you in ways you never expected. Do you think that is coincidence? Do you think the storms around your life are just random? No, they are not. They are orchestrated by forces that know your potential, forces that know the crown that is meant to be placed on your head, forces that know the authority you carry even when you don't fully recognize it yourself. And that is why they sent distractions, betrayals, false promises, fake friends, and even people you loved deeply who carried hidden motives. They wanted you destroyed before you realized your own power. But God says, I will not let them succeed. That is why I am sending Michael to you with this warning, this urgency, this divine interruption. Because you have been walking too close to the edge without realizing how thin the ground beneath you is. And Michael says, I have held back the flood for too long, I have shielded you from arrows you didn't even see, but if you keep ignoring my voice, the shield will not remain in the same way. You have to rise. You have to open your eyes. You have to stop letting your kindness become the very weapon used against you. There is something you must know. Someone who smiles at you, someone who pretends to celebrate you, has already betrayed you. They sat in a private place and agreed to something that was designed to strip you of your blessings. They thought you would never find out. They thought you would remain blind. But God says no more. Their time of hiding is over. Their plots are being exposed even as these words enter your ears. Heaven is recording their every step, and the same hands they used to harm you will tremble when truth comes crashing down. Michael says, I am angry because you keep doubting yourself. You keep second-guessing the voice of God inside you. You feel the nudges, the whispers, the dreams, and the signs, but then you dismiss them as imagination. That is why I must raise my voice now, because you cannot afford another delay. Your future is too important, your assignment too heavy, your calling too great. You cannot keep postponing what heaven is demanding of you. There is also someone crying for you, someone you once loved, someone who thought they could live without you but has realized the weight of their mistake. They have been torn apart by regret, but pride keeps their mouth shut. They watch you from a distance, aching in silence, yet unwilling to confess the full truth. You think they moved on, you think they forgot, but their nights are sleepless and their tears have soaked their pillow. Michael says, I see them when they break, I see them when they whisper your name in the quiet, and I know you don't even realize the depth of their sorrow. But heaven says, timing is in God's hands, and the truth will come out soon. Do not think for one moment that you have been abandoned. You are surrounded right now by more angels than enemies. Every time you thought you were alone, Michael was there. Every time you thought no one understood, God understood. Every time you almost gave up, heaven intervened. And yet, the battle grows more intense because you are closer than ever to breakthrough. That is why the attacks have been vicious recently. That is why people you trusted suddenly acted strange. That is why opportunities seem to crumble at the last second. The enemy has thrown his last and strongest darts at you because he knows the hour of your elevation has arrived. Michael says, I am shouting at you because your hesitation is dangerous. You keep waiting for perfect conditions, for clearer signs, for absolute confirmation, but God already confirmed it long ago. The delay is not because heaven is unsure. The delay is because you keep stepping back when you should be stepping forward. You keep ignoring the call because of fear of rejection, fear of betrayal, fear of failure. But what you don't understand is that the very things you fear have already been defeated. They hold no real power over you unless you hand it to them. God says, "Rise now. Do not wait for another day. Do not tell yourself tomorrow will be better. Today is the day. This moment is the opening. The heavens are aligning for you in this very hour." And Michael says, if you ignore this again, the loss will be too painful. You will look back and realize the window closed while you hesitated. Do not make me weep over your stubbornness. I have already cried too many tears watching you ignore the messages, watching you drown in doubt, watching you listen to the wrong voices while silencing the one voice that matters most. This is why I had to break through the noise. This is why I am speaking with fire in my tone. Because I refuse to let you walk blindly into the hands of those who wish to destroy you. I refuse to let your destiny be stolen by cowards who hide behind masks. I refuse to let the enemy dance on the grave of your potential. No. I, Michael, stand in front of you with my sword drawn, declaring that enough is enough. But I cannot fight for you if you won't stand for yourself. I cannot defend you if you choose to return to the very chains God already broke. I cannot shield you if you run back into the arms of those who already sold you out. The time for excuses is over. The time for denial is over. The time for pretending you don't know is over. The truth is here. The exposure is here, the command is here. God says, move forward boldly. Michael says, obey now, before it is too late. God says, I, Michael, need to talk to you, and it has to be now. Don't you dare ignore this and make me angry, for my voice is not a voice of casualness. My words are not of ordinary tone, and my presence is not to be dismissed like the wind that passes through your window. I stand before you with urgency, with trembling fire in my wings, with tears in my eyes because I know how close the danger has come to your soul, to your life, to your heart, to the very path God has placed you on. If you think you can delay this, if you think tomorrow will hold the same doorway, if you think that silence will shield you, I am telling you now with authority from heaven itself that the silence will not protect you, the delay will not save you, and your ignorance will not cancel what is being revealed in this very hour. This is the moment God chose. This is the moment my voice is commanded to reach your ears, and if you harden your heart, you will regret it, for my patience is not endless when God's instruction has been delivered. I, Michael, the Archangel, protector of the children of God, defender against the shadow that hunts in secrecy, am speaking because something has been seen in heaven concerning you, and you have walked blindly without realizing how near it has been to swallowing you whole. I saw the hand raised against you. I saw the whispers that were not just human words but incantations, agreements made in darkness against your light, and I saw how they smiled in the physical world while hiding the dagger of betrayal in the spirit. I am here to reveal this before you stumble where you should rise, before you break where you should stand, before you surrender where you should overcome. The warning is real, the danger is not imagination, and the urgency of my cry is because you cannot waste another heartbeat pretending this is not for you. You have wondered in your heart why certain things have gone the way they have, why certain doors close so sharply against you, why people who once said they loved you suddenly turn their back without reason, why you wake up heavy though you did not go to bed with sorrow, why you feel eyes watching you when no one stands in the room. You dismissed these as passing feelings, but I am telling you they were not passing, they were signals, whispers from heaven, and sometimes even cries from your own soul that something unseen was pressing against your destiny. You ignored the small nudges, you delayed acting on the signs, you said you would wait, but I am here now because the waiting is over. The moment has come where you either open your spirit to hear and act, or you risk falling into the very trap I was commanded to expose. Do not test me by pretending to look away. Do not make me repeat myself as though I am a mere messenger whose voice can be silenced with your distraction. I have stood in battles that split the heavens open, I have held the flaming sword at the gates of Eden, I have cast down the proud ones who thought they could rise against the throne of God, and I have guarded the children of light with such intensity that even hell itself trembled when I drew near. And now I am speaking to you, not to another, not to passers-by. God says, I, Michael, need to talk to you, and it has to be now. Don't you dare ignore this and make me angry, because this moment is not one you can pass by lightly. You have delayed so many times, you have brushed off the signs, you have silenced the whispers that came to you in the night, and yet heaven in its mercy continues to cry out for your attention. I am not coming to you as a messenger of gentle patience this time, I am coming with urgency, with fire in my voice, with trembling in my spirit, because this matter is not for tomorrow, not for next week, but for now. When God speaks, eternity bends its ear, and today the weight of heaven presses upon you, because your destiny, your safety, your truth, your inheritance, your very heart are standing at a crossroads, and you cannot keep standing still. You have felt the pressure, you have seen the strange alignments, you have sensed the stirring in the unseen, but you told yourself it was just imagination, you convinced yourself it was coincidence. But I, Michael, tell you this. It is no accident that these words are reaching you at this exact hour. If you ignore me now, you will feel the bitter sting of regret, because the door that is open before you is not going to remain open forever. God has decreed a time, and the time is now. I stand with my sword drawn, with the army of heaven behind me, and I am pleading with you, not because I am weak but because the matter is urgent, and your soul is too valuable, your destiny too heavy, for you to treat this lightly. You have wondered why your nights have felt restless, why you hear your name even when no one calls it, why tears fall from your eyes when you cannot explain the reason, why you feel a heaviness in your chest when you are alone. It is because your spirit already knows that something is being demanded of you. God has written your life in His book, and in this chapter a great unveiling is happening, but the unveiling requires your response. If you walk away from this moment, you are walking away from what heaven itself fought to place in your hands. Do you not know the lengths that were taken to protect you? There were nights when unseen hands shielded you, when death itself reached out but could not touch you because I was commanded to stand at your side. There were moments when betrayal tried to swallow you, but heaven whispered your name and covered you, keeping you from being completely destroyed. And now you stand here, hearing these words, and you think to yourself perhaps it is just another message. But no, this is not another message. This is the moment. The tears of your past, the prayers whispered when you felt no one heard, the questions you carried in silence, they have risen up before God, and heaven has sent me to say, now is the time, now is the turning, now is the hour you cannot miss. I see the enemy circling you, I see the traps being laid, I see the names of those who have whispered against you, I see the woman who plotted to steal what was rightfully yours, I see the man who hid the truth so that you would remain in confusion. And God is saying, enough. No more delay, no more deception, no more shadow covering the light of your destiny. God is exposing what was hidden, and if you open your eyes now you will see that even the people closest to you have been carrying secrets. Do not tremble, do not fear, because the exposure is not to break you but to free you. You cannot heal from what you refuse to face, and you cannot step into the inheritance written in your name if you continue to sit silent while others bury your truth beneath their lies. I, Michael, stand before you with warning and with promise. If you obey the voice of God in this moment, you will step into a protection so fierce, into a provision so abundant, into a breakthrough so swift, that you will look back at this day as the day everything shifted. But if you harden your heart again, if you push this aside, if you say in your spirit, later, not now, then you will watch doors close, you will feel opportunities slip like water through your fingers, you will cry tears of regret that could have been avoided. This is not a game. This is not a casual suggestion. This is God Himself saying through me, your time is now. You must know how much has already been done for you. There were courts in heaven where your name was mentioned, where accusations were hurled against you, where evidence was brought forth to try to condemn you. And the enemy cried loudly, demanding your destruction, reminding God of every mistake you ever made, of every weakness you ever showed, of every sin you ever committed. And when his voice thundered, the courtroom shook. But then, the blood of Christ spoke louder. Then, the intercession of Jesus silenced the accusations. Then, I, Michael, stood and declared that you belong to God, and the verdict was overturned. Do you see how costly your freedom is? Do you understand how much was fought for, so that you could stand here alive today? And yet even now the enemy rages, not because he has power to destroy you, but because he knows if you awaken fully to who you are, if you awaken fully to what God has written for you, he will lose every hold, every scheme, every weapon he has set against you. That is why this message comes with such urgency. That is why I speak with fire in my voice. Because heaven is on the edge of pouring out miracles in your life, but your heart must be aligned. You must open, you must surrender, you must respond. God says, "This message is not like the others, this one is urgent, this one is burning with fire, this one is filled with the voice of Archangel Michael, and it is meant for you at this very moment." The heavens are not whispering this gently, they are roaring it into your life, because your soul is at a turning point that cannot be delayed or postponed. Michael himself, the warrior of heaven, the one who leads armies against darkness, is not just speaking softly but calling out with a thunder that shakes through eternity. He says, "I need to talk to you, and it has to be now. Don't you dare ignore this. Don't make me angry by turning away. Don't let the moment pass by as if it were ordinary, for this is no ordinary moment." You may have felt whispers in your spirit before, those quiet nudges of intuition that told you something unseen was happening around you, but today those whispers are no longer enough. God has ordered that the veil be pulled back, and that Michael himself stand in front of you with his sword of fire, his wings stretched wide to shield you, his eyes blazing with holy urgency. He does not come to frighten you, but to awaken you. He comes to pull you away from the sleep of delay, from the shadows of distraction, and to make you see clearly that heaven is working right now on your behalf. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Even in the nights when you cried silently, feeling that no one heard, the angels heard. Even in the hours when your strength was gone and you thought no one saw, heaven saw. Michael himself was ordered to watch over you, to cover you when unseen forces tried to crush your spirit. He stood by your bed when you were unaware, placing his shield between you and what was sent to break you. He fought battles in the unseen realm that you may never fully understand, and yet you are still here, breathing, because God's mercy chose to keep you. This is not a coincidence. This is not luck. This is divine arrangement. And now, in this exact moment, God is demanding your attention because something is shifting in the heavens concerning you. Michael says it plainly, "Don't make me angry by ignoring this. Don't close your ears when the heavens are open above you. Don't harden your heart when God's voice is reaching you now." The urgency is not because God wants to frighten you, but because the timing matters. There is a moment appointed for everything, and right now the window is open for your deliverance, your clarity, your protection, and your restoration. Michael is not a messenger of soft compromises, he is a warrior. When he speaks with such force, it means something has already been exposed in the heavenly court. God has seen what was done against you. He has seen the traps that were set, the lies that were spoken, the jealousy that rose like poison against you, and he is not silent anymore. Heaven is responding. But heaven requires your attention, your alignment, your willingness to believe and to act. That is why Michael is pressing you urgently. Think about the weight of those words. I need to talk to you now. When heaven says now, it does not mean tomorrow, it does not mean someday, it does not mean later. It means this very breath, this very second, this very heartbeat. The Spirit of God is moving in real time, and He is stretching out His hand toward you. Michael is telling you that this is a conversation that cannot wait. If you close your heart, you may miss the opening. If you turn away, you may delay what God wants to release to you. But you don't have to fear. God Himself says, you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. Rest assured, my child, I am with you. That assurance is what carries you into the unknown. The unknown is not a threat when God walks with you. The unseen is not darkness when Michael shields you. The future is not dangerous when the author of life is writing your story. All you need to do is trust, trust deeply, trust without conditions, trust when you don't see the proof, trust when it looks like the opposite, trust when the enemy whispers lies into your mind. For every lie, there is a louder truth echoing in heaven. You are chosen, you are protected, you are not forgotten. Michael's urgency comes because the enemy has tried again. He has stirred up people against you, he has planted seeds of confusion, he has tried to make you doubt your worth, your calling, your future. But Michael has caught him red-handed. He has raised his sword, and the armies of heaven are surrounding you. But Michael needs your cooperation. He needs you not to fall into fear, not to sink into despair, not to close your ears. When you listen and trust, you give him authority to strike swiftly on your behalf. When you resist the voice of heaven, you create gaps the enemy tries to use. That is why he is warning you sternly, not because he is against you, but because he is for you with all his being. Imagine the love in those words. Even his anger is rooted in love. He does not want to see you harmed, delayed, or deceived. He fights for you with such passion that he cannot bear for you to shrug this off as just another message. He is urging you as a father urges his child, as a guardian urges the one he protects. Take this seriously. Don't take lightly the fact that heaven itself has paused to speak to you in this very moment. And so, what must you do now? You must open your heart fully. Speak to God, not with empty formality, but with the raw honesty of your soul. Tell him your fears, your doubts, your hopes. Tell him where you feel weak. Ask him to cover you in the blood of Jesus, to surround you with light, to let Michael continue his protection over you. And then believe that he will. This is the prayer that pulls heaven down into your situation. This is the prayer that unlocks the blessing waiting for you. God is not asking you to perform, to prove yourself worthy by perfection. He is only asking you to trust. Trust is the key. Trust opens the floodgates. Trust is the language of heaven. When you trust, you align yourself with the rhythm of God's timing, and suddenly what was blocked begins to move. what was hidden begins to be revealed, what was delayed begins to accelerate. Right now, God says, "Be still, my child, and know that I am God. I am the one who keeps you safe. I am the one who silences your enemies. I am the one who turns what was meant for evil into good. I am the one who writes your story to completion." And Michael echoes it with thunder, "Listen now. Do not ignore. Do not delay. Your breakthrough is not far. Your healing is not far. Your answer is not far. In fact, it is closer than you realize." That is why the urgency is so intense today. The enemy fights hardest just before the release. The darkness presses in most when the dawn is about to break. Michael is declaring that dawn is already pushing against the horizon for you. Can you not sense it? Can you not feel the shift in the air around your spirit? Something is different today. Do not fear what you cannot control. Do not carry the weight of battles that were never yours to fight. Michael was assigned to fight for you. God Himself has already judged in your favor. All you need to do is walk forward in trust, refusing to let fear poison your heart. Every time doubt whispers, say, "I trust God." Every time fear rises, say, "Michael is with me." Every time confusion comes, say, "God's voice is clear to me." And remember, this urgency is not about punishment, it is about love. It is about timing. It is about heaven pulling you higher so you don't miss what is about to be released. God says, "You are safe. You are loved. You are chosen. You are protected. You are not forgotten." Michael says, "Listen now. Open now. Trust now. Don't delay." And I say to you, rest in the assurance that nothing will go wrong. You are held in the palm of God's hand. You are under the wings of the Almighty. You are guarded by Michael Himself. Do not ignore this, for this is heaven's urgent message. God says, "I, Michael, need to talk to you, and it has to be now." Do not let your heart wander, do not let your ears close, and do not let your spirit harden against this message, because this is not just another moment, this is the moment. I have been sent with urgency, with divine fire in my wings, with truth burning in my voice, and with the hand of God pressing upon me to speak to you directly. Do not ignore this, for ignoring this would not just sadden me, it would grieve the heavens themselves. The Lord is merciful, the Lord is patient, but there comes a time when heaven declares, "Now is the hour, no more delay." This is that hour for you. You cannot delay, you cannot turn your face away, you cannot dismiss this as ordinary, because it is not ordinary. This message carries the weight of your life, your soul, your destiny, and the very protection that surrounds you when you sleep and when you rise. God wants you to know that you are not alone, even though shadows have been trying to whisper lies to you. You may have felt abandoned in certain hours, as though prayers bounced back unanswered, as though silence filled the heavens when you begged for light. But I tell you, no prayer has ever been lost, no word has ever gone unheard, no tear has ever dropped to the ground unseen. Every single whisper of your heart has reached the throne of the Almighty, and the Lord has stored your tears in His bottle. But now is not the time for waiting silently anymore. Now is the time of answer. Now is the time of divine intervention. Michael, am here with urgency. The Lord sends me not because you are weak, but because you are chosen. Do you understand? You have been marked for greatness, but greatness always attracts opposition. The enemy has been lurking, circling, setting traps unseen. This is why you have been feeling sudden heaviness, why your dreams have been restless, why your spirit sometimes feels the weight of fear that you cannot explain. It is not random. It is the invisible war raging for your destiny. And in this war, I am commanded to speak to you and remind you of what you carry, who you are, and why you cannot afford to ignore the divine call. The enemy thought you would not make it this far. He thought despair would have swallowed you whole by now. He thought betrayals, heartbreak, and lies would have crushed your soul until you surrendered. But you are still here. Even when you doubted yourself, Heaven never doubted you. Even when you felt small, Heaven knew the immensity of the seed God planted within you. And now that seed is beginning to stir, and the enemy is trembling because once it bursts forth, no chain can hold you, no barrier can block you, no curse can bind you. But I must speak clearly, you cannot take this lightly. You cannot think tomorrow will be safer than today to listen. You cannot imagine that delaying this message will make things easier. Every delay opens the door wider for the enemy's schemes. That is why I said, do not you dare ignore this. It is not out of anger for anger's sake, it is out of holy urgency, because the hour of your rising is at hand, and the enemy will do everything to stop you before you step into it. Listen closely. Your prayers have already broken barriers. Your cries have already summoned help. God has already dispatched armies of angels around you. But the last step is yours. You must believe, you must open your spirit, you must say, "Yes, Lord, I receive." The heavens are aligned in your favor. The earth is trembling to release blessings held back, but heaven will not force you. It must be your yes, your surrender, your trust. That is why the Spirit has stirred me with fire to say, this is not a message for tomorrow, this is for now. Do not let fear take root. Do not let weariness make you blind. Do not let the lies of people confuse your spirit. Many voices will speak, but only one voice is truth, and that voice is God's. People may have failed you, turned against you, or carried secret thoughts against you, but God's voice never fails. His word never changes. His promise never fades. What He spoke over you before you were even born still stands, and no human betrayal can cancel it. I see the hand of God stretched out toward you. I see Him saying, "Rise, my child, and walk into what I have ordained." But you must not hesitate, because hesitation is where the enemy thrives. He lingers in your doubts, feeds on your delays, and tries to magnify your fears. But when you step boldly, even trembling, heaven rushes to your side. Every step of faith summons a legion to walk beside you. Do not think you are stepping alone. You are stepping with angels, with heavenly armies, with the power of the cross, and with the breath of God in your lungs. Yes, the enemy has been whispering in the night. Yes, he has been trying to convince you you're not worthy, not ready, not chosen. But I tell you, the enemy is terrified of you. That is why he fights so hard, because he knows if you step fully into your calling, everything he has tried to build against you will collapse like dust. The very people who doubted you will be astonished, the very ones who mocked you will be silenced, and the very darkness that tried to suffocate you will scatter at the light God is releasing through you. I tell you with urgency, do not let this moment slip away. Heaven is speaking directly to you, not in vague riddles, but in fire and truth. You have prayed, "Lord, send me a sign, let me know you hear me, let me know you see me." This message is your sign. This is your confirmation. This is heaven saying, "Yes, I see you, yes, I have chosen you, yes, I will not abandon you." Do not take it lightly. Do not let it be another message you read and forget. Hold it, cling to it, live by it, because this is life to your spirit. Your path ahead will not be without trials, but it will be with victory. The storm may rise, but it cannot drown you. The fire may burn, but it cannot consume you. The valley may be deep, but it cannot bury you. For the Lord Himself walks before you, and His angels surround you. I, Michael, speak with fire because you must know, you are never alone. Do not let loneliness deceive you. Do not let silence confuse you. Heaven has always been near, and now heaven is roaring for you. You will see restoration where there was loss. You will see open doors where there were walls. You will see healing where there was pain. You will see laughter where there were tears. And when it happens, you will know it was not by your strength, not by chance, but by the hand of God who heard your cry. But right now, the choice is before you. Will you listen? Will you trust? Will you act? Will you believe? Heaven is waiting on your yes. Do not ignore this. Do not close your ears. Do not walk away thinking you have time. Time is precious, and this moment is holy. I, Michael, stand here with you. The fire of God surrounds you. The protection of God covers you. The love of God upholds you. You are safe in Him, as long as you trust, as long as you pray, as long as you believe. Take courage. Take faith. Take hold of this word. It is your urgent message, your divine call, your turning point. God says, you are His, and nothing will change that. And I say once more with holy urgency, do not ignore this. Receive it now. Live it now. Walk in it now. God says, I, Michael, need to talk to you, and it has to be now. Do not let your heart dismiss these words as if they are ordinary, for they are not. Do not dare to turn away, do not ignore this, for when heaven speaks, silence on your part can cost you more than you know. The Spirit of God is moving right now, urgently, reaching into your soul, pressing upon your heart to receive this message. This is not a message of confusion but of clarity, not of fear but of awakening, not of despair but of deliverance. You are chosen, and when you are chosen, you cannot afford to pretend that you did not hear the trumpet call. Michael is standing before you in the Spirit, fierce in light, radiant in fire, and trembling in holy power. He does not come with casual words but with a voice that shakes through eternity. He cries out to you, I need to talk to you, and it has to be now. Not later, not tomorrow, not someday when you feel ready. Now. There is urgency, because heaven knows the exact moment the enemy is planning to strike. Heaven knows the precise second the trap is tightening, and heaven knows how many minutes are left before the door of mercy closes upon this particular season. You may have thought that you still had time, that you could wait a little longer, that you could ignore the whispers of the Spirit tugging at you, but you cannot. The clock of heaven is not your clock, and when God says now, it means now. This message reaches you because your name is written upon the scroll that angels are carrying before the throne. Your cries have been heard, your tears have been counted, your struggles have been seen, and your silent prayers that you never spoke out loud have been collected in golden bowls before the Lord. Nothing has been ignored, nothing has been forgotten. And yet, Michael is saying to you, why do you hesitate? Why do you delay? Why do you let fear, doubt, or distractions silence the voice of God within you? Do not make me angry by ignoring what heaven is saying to you now. His anger is not like human anger that destroys, but a holy fire that burns against delay, against hesitation, against all forces trying to keep you from your destiny.